Welcome everyone to another video, and today we're going to take a look at a holiday cup theme that I've been using with great success so far, going 100% win rate. Of course, I only used it for two sets, but I mean it's a good start, right? And that's why I'm showcasing it to you. And it features an all normal type team featuring Wigglytuff in the lead for those pesky dark types or even fighting types such as Annihilate, and we have Furret as a safe swap to beat out those dark types and Annihilate, and we have Lickilicky in the back as our closer with that buffed Shadow Ball and Body Slam spam. So you might be thinking why my Furret has Brick Break and Trailblaze when it is recommended to run Brick Break and Swift. Well, I'm using Furret to not just to beat out the dark types and Annihilate, but it's also to use it to deal some substantive damage versus ghost type moves against ghost type Pokemon, sorry, because Brick Break and Swift both are doubly resisted by ghost types. So Trailblaze at least gives an neutral charge move to deal some damage versus something like Annihilate or even a Jellicent that you might be seeing in some matches. And of course, Lickilicky with Shadow Ball now only needing 50 energy. This just means that it can spam Shadow Ball just as quick, if not quicker than before. And yeah, and Wigglytuff, what can I say, is just as good as it has always been, but now it just becomes better, especially with this team composition. So let's go into the first battle here. We have Wigglytuff in the lead versus Cerulege, a very bad lead indeed because of its fire and ghost type, and this is where Furret can deal incredible amount of damage. And they decided to swap into a Shadow Giratina, which is fine by us because it's still a ghost type and Furret Sucker Punches will add up, and we will shield this one move because now if we do get to Trailblaze, we are going to be able to farm them all the way down and come out with boosted Sucker Punch damage. So as you can see, my strategy with Furret is to use Brick Break first to soften up the opponent before throwing the Trailblaze to ramp up our attack. And the reason being is two reasons, because Brick Break is a little bit cheaper than Trailblaze, and also if the opponent decides to stay in, Brick Break has a higher chance of making them swap out, which is quite beneficial in terms of getting the alignment that I might want. And here the opponent has a Shadow Girafarik in the back, which we don't mind at all because yeah, our Wigglytuff will be able to out damage it, even though Shadow Confusion damage is tough to beat, but Charm is still a heavy hitting move. So the opponent now in the second game has a Wigglytuff as their safe swap, but because it is used as a safe swap, they are quite behind on energy versus us, so we are able to get to an icy win before them, and we are going to try to farm them all the way down, but unfortunately they are able to hang on with 1 HP before throwing another charge move, which is very unfortunate because now we have to use 1 shield versus them, and we are already 1 stage debuff. But here we are going to be able to debuff their second mon here, which is the Furret that we saw in the lead, and they are going to come in with a Golurk, and this is game over for them because now we are able to come in with a Furret, farm them all the way down, safely shield this. Even though we'll be 2 shields down, it is fine because we'll come out with almost 2 Brick Breaks, and we will be able to take both of their shields immediately, which means now Lickilicky will have a dominant matchup versus this Furret, even though Furret will have Brick Break to deal super effective damage versus our Lickilicky. Lickilicky is very tanky and will be able to tank at least one of the Brick Breaks, which is what we are aiming for, and we win that game. So in the third game, we are met with another Wigglytuff. In the Holiday Cup, Wigglytuff is sort of good as as a lead because we don't see that many Pokemon that are resisting it in this cup, because the only Pokemon that you see that resist it in this cup are something like a Cerulege or how do you say, a Talonflame, something like that. But even Talonflame does not want to deal with the swift damage, because a Charm, even though it is resisted, it will chunk just a little bit too much for its liking. Talonflame at the end of the day is even though it is one of the bulkier fire types, it's still quite frail in my opinion. So in this instance, it's not something that they will want to stay in for long. And speaking about Talonflame, the opponent has a Talonflame here, and they are going to be instantly deleted by one rollout because of that Brick Break debuff. And we are going to be met with a top left from the opponent because they know the writing's on the wall. Wigglytuff will be able to easily come in and debuff them, and they will be nullified quite easily. Now in the next game, we are going to be met with a Wigglytuff. They elected to let go of the first charge move, which is fine by us, but we are going to shield. We want to preserve the health of our Wigglytuff because we want to debuff their second Pokemon as well. Here they come in with a Dunsparce, the normal Dunsparce rather than the Dunsparce is evolution, and this is still fine. We are going to keep our Wigglytuff in the bag just in case we need it as a sponge for one charge move later on, because let's face it, when you're one shield down as we are right now, you want to have an opportunity to have like a third shield opportunity, and here we are going to be having that with the Wigglytuff. Hopefully we don't have to use it, but if it comes to that point, then we are going to use it. And here is the reason why we want to have Wigglytuff in the back, because when the switch timer comes out, we are able to use it as a sponge and preserve that one shield that we have, and now we have parity in terms of shields, and we are able to use Lickilicky to try and take down this Pawmot. So we are going to no shield this, hoping that it is a Brick Break rather than a close combat, because if it was a close combat, then it would have been game over for us. But because it was Brick Break, we are able to throw the Shadow Ball and take the win, because now they have no chance. We have still one shield, and one Sucker Punch will be able to take out the Pawmot, and we will win the game. Of course, we do have the Wigglytuff here, but it doesn't matter. I mean, our internet somehow got disconnected, but it didn't affect the outcome of the match. We would have won it anyways, and yeah, that was a GG. So now this is a very interesting matchup. We got massive lag here at the start of the match, as you will see here. Furret, oh wait, was it this match or was it the next match? But yeah, one of the matches we had massive lag at the start, which hindered our progress by a lot, and we had to use our shields just to remain in the game. But this is not it. Here we are going to see Annihilate, which is what we want to see in this game, in this position, because now Wigglytuff will be able to take it out. And here they will come in with a Talonflame again, and we are going to shield it again first time just in case it's a Brave Bird, but the opponent decided to come in with their Jellicent, which for them might seem like it's a good matchup, but really it is not, because Jellicent, even though it has Surf to deal some neutral damage, it will be hit by super effective Shadow Balls from Lickilicky if it is not careful. And here we decide to swap in with our Wigglytuff to catch the next Surf and hopefully bait them out again, and we are going to try to debuff them once more. Wigglytuff is basically in this team just to debuff the opponent, just so that we have a better time versus whatever that is left in the bag. And here, because Lickilicky has insane damage output with the rollout, and the energy generation is just so massive that we are able to safely throw a Body Slam, and we are able to, then we will be able to get to two more charge moves for the Jellicent. And now we are met with a Vigoroth in the safe swap position with Annihilate in the lead. It's not a comfortable matchup, but we are going to debuff them before swapping out to our Furret. Furret at least has a fighting chance, considering that Vigoroth is also a normal type Pokemon, and we will try to hopefully use Furret to to get to a second Brick Break against the Annihilate so that Wigglytuff can compensate its low health for additional damage output. So yeah, the opponent decided to come in with an Annihilate again, which is what we want, because now we throw another Brick Break. The opponent, of course, will not shield it, but that is exactly what we want, because now we are able to rampage through their whole team here with Lickilicky. Lickilicky is going to be able to safely soak up at least one attack from them, and we are going to be able to out spam them to 3 charge moves hopefully. And we are going to throw the first one. Most probably is going to be shielded, but they decided to not to, and we are going to let this one go, considering that we are already at a second Shadow Ball, and we already know how much one Surf did to Lickilicky, and we are going to let it go. And now they decided to swap at the same time as us, and we are going to shield this one, because we know that they at most they are able to get to another Rage Fist. Rage Fist will not do much versus a normal type like Wigglytuff, and the writing's on the wall at this point at this moment in time, and they are going to not use their last shield. So here we have a game with Diggersby in the lead. Diggersby is a dominant matchup for Wigglytuff because of the Icy Wind debuff potential, and since Icy Wind is a super effective move, we want to throw it. So because it has 2 benefits, right? The attack debuff as well as the super effective charge move. And because they got debuffed, they immediately swap into their Wigglytuff and going to debuff them straight back and come in with the Lickilicky. So why do we come in with Lickilicky this game is because Lickilicky has a horrible time versus the Diggersby, and we do not want it to be matched up with the Diggersby if possible. And here we are going to try to roll out the Wigglytuff all the way down. Hopefully they don't swap out, and decided not to, and they will come in most probably with, oh, they didn't come with Diggersby, but they decided to come in with Furret, which is fine. We are going to come in again with our Wigglytuff. We are going to, I think, let this one go because we have our Furret in the back that can handle both of these Pokemons very easily. Again, we are going to leave our Lickilicky in the back to use as a sponge if needed, because we are 1 shield down. And yeah, this meta is has a lot of like shield conservation that's required, because the meta is quite small, I would say, but it's just that if you most of the time if you lose the lead, you tend to lose the matchups, unless if you're using my team, of course. As you can see, my team has a lot of ways to come out from bad matchups, but at this moment in time that is not really required. But yeah, let's see how it goes. Lickilicky again comes in, throws a body slam, and able to take the win. So yeah, oh yeah, this is the battle where there was incredible lag. So as you can see here, there's like about 30 seconds of lag before I'm able to swap out to my Furret. And at this point, considering the amount of damage Wigglytuff had received, we are already so far behind. As you can see here, before we get to our first charge move, they are already at a second blast burn, and we are going to use up both shields because Brick Break here would be massive versus the Charizard. And here they decided to stay in with just a while longer before coming in with their Furret, which is fine by us because now we are going to throw a Brick Break against them. We are going to swap against the Wigglytuff and saving the Furret again as a sponge if required. If it is not required, it is fine, but as a safety policy, especially after that massive lag at the start, is incredibly important. And here we decided to throw the Icy Wind versus the Charizard because with no shields, any type of suppression to their attack is very much needed. And here we're gonna try to roll out the Charizard down. Unfortunately, they do get to a third blast burn to almost take our Lickilicky out. And as you can see here, Lickilicky would have been taken out if it weren't for that Icy Wind debuff. And their third Pokemon would be a Cradily, which we are okay with, right? Because we have the Furret in the back. Furret will be able to take one for the team. Hopefully we are going to try to catch the second one on to the Wigglytuff if possible. I think there are 2 more fast moves away from the second one, and we are able to catch it. As you can see here, always keep that low HP Pokemon in the bag. It could be beneficial for you, and in this instance it is beneficial to soak up that damage and to leave Furret on the field to hit that Brick Break to take the win. So in the last matchup here, we are going to be met with another Wigglytuff. There's so many Wigglytuffs in the lead, but it is okay for us. And now we are going to come in with a Furret versus the Scaladurge. It is not ideal here, but considering that they have Wigglytuff in the lead and Scaladurge as a safe swap, they will most probably tend to have another fire type, something like a Talonflame or a Charizard in the back, which is what we are banking on, because Lickilicky would have tremendous success versus that type of Pokemon. And as you can see here, even though we use our both shields, it is fine because now we can trust in Lickilicky to seal the game for us. We throw one Brick Break, getting to second Brick Break, and this is where we are able to take a shield from them back, because if it was a Body Slam they would definitely be KO'd. And now they are going to come in with their Wigglytuff, and we are able to debuff them before they get to their own Icy Wind, which is massive. Now we are going to be able to use Lickilicky like how we intend to use Lickilicky, which is to farm them all the way down to get some damage output if possible. But the opponent elected to let this one go and save a shield for the Talonflame, which is fine. Now we are going to try to use the Furret as a sponge if possible. And yeah, unfortunately the move registered on the Furret and didn't throw the charge move, which is very unfortunate. Now let's see what happens here. Are we able to survive this? We do, and now we are able to roll out the Talonflame to seal the win. So as you can see here, massive games. Some matchups a little bit more tricky, some due to lag, some due to very bad leads, but our team was able to pull through all of the situations with relative ease. So let me know what you think about this team. Is normal type, it's all like monotype teams something that you want to see more often? If you do leave a comment down below. At least it gives me some idea of what you guys want to watch, right? And it will give me some inspiration of what to do next. And with that is it for this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.